What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ronda and Jay. We are locked in. This is episode 2 of Put a Ring on It. And we know the first week we got to meet all the couples. They all seem like they pretty good together. But we got to see the men go out on a date with another woman. Now, the 3 couples we did see, they all said, I don't want to deal with that woman again. I want to go on another date with somebody else. But we know the women had a power this week. So before we get into this, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel and be a part of this, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. We just hit 6,000 subscribers. Man, it's a slow grind, but we getting there. We chugging. Now, the ladies had a power this week, and we know that they're going to go on some dates with some men. And we know men, we are definitely not trying to see that. Even if we know it's for this show, we are still not trying to see our women go out with another man. So we're going to see how these men handle this. And hopefully nobody gets in their feelings too much and acts a fool. So let's get it started. This is Put a Ring on It, episode 2. They started the episode off earlier. Now, my man, Darian, he was the last one to go, and they asked did he want to go back on a date with Kai, and he was sitting there and he was thinking about it. Now, if you remember in the first episode, she was like, if I was to kiss you, how would you feel? He was like, I would like it, but he was staying true because he knew he had a woman back at home and he was in a relationship. He was like, but I don't want you to do it. But now he gets asked, does he want to go on another date with Kai? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. But Alexia, she ain't with it. She like, you going on multiple dates? It seems like y'all in a relationship or something. So I'm gonna give you all the space. And she's like, hey, if you're gonna go on another date with this woman, then obviously it may be something there. Everybody else is just thinking, don't do it, man. You should have said no, man. But he's just like, I don't know, I want to see. So doctor's telling her that's a defense mechanism. You invested a lot into these relationships. So that's not really what your answer is. It's just like, oh man, let me put this boundary up, and trying to block from everything that's going on. But then she turns it real quick and tells the ladies, y'all gonna be the only ones going on a date this week. So gentlemen, y'all have to sit at the house. Y'all gonna have to sit there. Y'all gonna have to meet the man that comes over to take your woman on a date. And you know how that's gonna go. They ain't gonna like that at all, man. Sean, he straight up, I gotta be a fly on the wall, man. She a little too friendly. Nah, I gotta actually be there. And doctor's like, hey, maybe there's some things she needs to learn on her date. Just like you learned a few things about yourself on your date. And Sean, he's sitting there because he's like, she's right. But still, I gotta be there, man. I can't let this go down, man. Eric and Jessica. Jessica comes down, and no disrespect to Eric, but I'm like, damn, they could have filled me in to be the one to take her on a date. You know what I'm saying? I'll be gentleman about it, but I respect everybody here. And Eric's like, look, whatever you do on this, because she asked for some advice, say no. You want to drink? No. You want to hold hands? No. You ain't got no other option but to say no. She talking about I'm going to explore all my options. He's like, oh, no, this little date, matter of fact, you need to go change. My man Eric says one of the biggest things in a relationship is trust. Now, she's a flirtatious woman. She seems like she has a good personality. So that's just her. But I don't think she's going to mean anything by it from what I've seen so far. So as of right now, Eric, you might be in good hands. We're going to have to see the gentleman that comes and pick her up, though, because that's where things start to change. Okay, my boy Randon pulled up in the Jeep. Now, he stepped out with some all-white Forces. And you know he just bought these for this day. Because I'm talking about them things was clean, not a stain on it. Gets out, got the all-blue on, shirt open, tatted up. My boy Randon said he's single. He's looking for something. And he don't mind being boyfriend number 2 because his whole life he been Mr. Steal Your Girl. Now, my dog got an accent, so he might be right in the ballpark. Eric, you may have some competition, but this is where we're going to see if that trust between Eric and Jessica stands strong. Eric opens up the door and talk about, who is it? Who is it? He keeps asking him who it is. Randon's like, it's Randon. But you can tell Randon don't get loud. He like, Randon. He starts laughing. Eric like, who you looking for? He closes the door on him. Damn, boy, Eric is not having this. See, Jessica, she's liking all this. She said Eric is normally tough and you don't ever see this side of him. But for Eric, it's like, maybe I don't mind if she went out on a date, but one thing is a man showing up to my house and picking my girl up. Like that's where he's really hurting. But she's like, let him talk for himself. Gives him a hug. Look at Eric back there. He's like, man, let me make sure them hands is above the waist, brother. My boy Randon, he pulling the page out of my book. I don't know if I should charge him or to congratulate him because he's doing this thing. He ordered a margarita for him. And they start talking and the conversation is going good. Now he asks her about their relationship and if they see it moving forward. And he's like, man, I would have laid it all out and asked for you to be my girl. For her, she's like, oh man. Now, I'm not a big fan of talking to a woman about her relationship, what they got going on, because what her and another man do doesn't have anything to do with me. So I would steer the conversation towards us, but I know it's for the show. But I would have been focused on like what she does and what I do and leave him out the picture because this ain't got nothing to do with him. And she going forward. She talking about she sees herself married in 5 years. And he said, oh, I'm with that. So for her, it's like, oh, you all in? So she sees that he's marriage minded. Mind you, he ain't never had no girlfriend, which is totally fine. A lot of us, we're like that. You just date around, but you ain't got no official girlfriend. Shout out to Alexia. We follow each other on social media. I like her personality. I like what she's saying here. She's talking about, on my date, I just hope this man is not a fan of yours because I don't want to be on no date with a dude talking about, man, I remember when they used to come out with their song. She is not trying to hear that. Now you hear Darren on the side talking about, yeah, man, well, if he come through, he'll say, I'll get him an autograph. She's like, nah, I don't want any parts to do with you. I want to go out on my date and enjoy it for myself. So she's like, she's not doing this to get back at him, but it's like, let me go out there and have some fun also. But she's going to keep it respectable because that's what they're going to do in this relationship. All right, we got Chris, 41. This is Alexia's date. Now, he's an entrepreneur in the fitness field. You know what I'm saying? We getting big out here. Now, he show up. My dog Clean, he took the all black approach, you know what I'm saying? The black fitted shirt so you can see how big he is, pause. Got the ice on, got the glasses, got the beard. Hey, my man looks like he is on a mission. And he brought the mask, you know what I'm saying? It can never be too safe. All right, Chris came in here and you can tell he's an older man about his business. Now, he came in big as hell. Spoke like, oh, a personal trainer, man. They get the women by themselves. But he's like, nah, he's cutting all that out from the beginning. What he says is, that's what I'm known for. My reputation is not messing with my clients. I'm there for business and I'm changing lives. I'm like, okay. My boy Chris, he know what he doing. Okay, professional. I like that. My man Smokes, he is like, damn. All right, he don't know who I am, but he walked him out the door and he's looking like, man, don't no man want his woman around another man. Come on now. We have Ronda and Jay. Now, I feel like their connection may be possibly the strongest because they have, outside of just, saying the personal relationship, it seems like their personalities go together. Now, they have Dr. Nicole coming over for an in-house visit because she says she'll be able to stop by and do one-on-ones with just the couples outside of the group settings. And Jay, he's saying he's kind of nervous about the whole process and the situation of her going out on a date. He kind of said it's kind of like going to meeting the principal's office. It's like, oh man, what's the worst that can happen? With Jay and Lorena, they have a conversation about finances. And we know that this is one of the main things when it comes to a relationship. For him, Lorena, she talks about money on a month to month annually overall. And for him, he's an entertainer. So his money isn't set each month. And for him, he feels if he's not working, then that's his worth. And he feels like a bum because he's not working. So that means that income isn't coming in. But I like what Lorena said. And she said, it doesn't matter how much money he's making. It's built on our love and stuff. So once you come together and build this bond, money shouldn't be the most important factor. Now, it is in a lot of relationships, but that's what Lorena is telling him. Now, Jay also goes into explanation of he's comparing himself to his father and what the relationship with his mom was. Now, his dad used to work, but he was never around. He would just bring the money in on Friday and he would dip back out. So for him, he's looking at that and he's looking at his relationship and he's putting his self comparison. But you can't do that. The difference is you have Lorena and you can make a change for what you have. You guys' partnership is going to be totally different than what your parents had. And you can never compare yourself to somebody else. That's obviously, that's one of the biggest things you should never do is look at someone else and compare your life to them because no one's life is going to be the same. They go out to the batting cages and you can tell that Lexi, she's having a good time because that's what she wanted to do with this date. Like I said, let's make it clear. She even said it's not for any get back. It's just to go out and have fun and see what's out here. Now, one thing she did say is Chris is her type. Chris is her type. Solid, athletic build. her type. She about to have some fun. Now they out there playing some baseball. He out there. She like, whoa, you need to slow down. That boy hitting them home runs, ain't he? Chris, this is exactly what I was telling you guys earlier. Now, for him, he's like, okay, I want to know a little bit about you. You're a beautiful woman. And she's like, I used to hoop overseas, cross them up. If you haven't been overseas, people, that's something I'd advise you to do. I used to live in Germany for 4 years. Amazing. But even Chris, he's listening to it. But at the same time, just like I said on the first date, he takes it from, oh, let's not talk about Darian. I want to talk about us and moving forward. So what he's doing is removing the other guy out of the picture so it could be a one-on-one. And that's what you're supposed to do. You don't want to hear about another man when you're on a date. Those problems are gone. Let's focus on right now. Chris he on his grown man. For Lexi, she's like, yeah, it's good to be out on a date and have fun and be with someone that's attractive and that will actually listen to you. Now, Chris explains why he's single because he just hasn't met somebody. Now, he does meet pretty faces, beautiful women, but it's not just the face that he wants to know. And just like with Alexia, he said, I want to know if you know who you are. So she's like, I'm an alpha, you know what I'm saying? So that's why her and Darian, they clash a little bit. But Chris, man, I don't have anything else to say. He's doing what he's supposed to do. That's how I live life. Ronda and Shine. Now we know Shine. He's like, oh man, wait, whoa, Ronda, you came out looking a little too good. We're gonna have to cover up that cleavage, safety pin or something. She's like, look, it's not too bad. Just calm down. She putting the lotion and stuff on. Just calm down. I'm about to go on a date. Shine's over there. I guess he's playing chess with himself because his mind's over here racing. LaRonda's date is a gentleman named John. He is also an artist. The level of disrespect, bringing an artist to an artist's house to take his girl on a date. Oh my gosh. And John says he is the man of the people. Any young woman that needs their mind stimulated, he's there for it. He's the best option, in his words, for any young lady that needs to be led. We gonna see. John comes in talking about peace and blessings, brother, and then puts his hands behind his back, and they show LaRonda. She's like, peace and blessings? Who the hell are they sending me on a date with? And she kind of laughs like, come on, man. So he comes in the house, and Sean's like, hold up, bro, I'll walk with you. He's like, man, tripping. He's just walking freely through the house. Like, yeah, man, you don't lead somebody else in their house, especially someone you haven't been there before. You wait and you follow him to where he wants you to go. Hey, John, calm down a little bit, man. You're running over the words too fast and you're kind of nervous. But he's like, yeah, I'm here. I know you guys are looking for something. I'm looking for some clarity also. And Sean's sitting there like, what? And then LaRonda says, oh, you seem like a genuine person. And then Sean's like, hey, man, don't be egging this dude on. But they about to head out. We're going to see how this day goes. Because this... in my head, this don't seem like it's gonna work. But man, Sean going through it. He's woosah, in through the nose, out the mouth. My dog starts hitting push-ups. That's how nervous he is about this situation. But he does say him and LaRonda, they had a conversation that they would both tell each other if they ever got to a point in the relationship where they weren't having any fun anymore. And that's the scariest thing that you can wait to hear from your significant other is, I'm not having any fun anymore. All right. John starting off. He's in there. He's selecting the wine. She likes that he's assertive. He's decisive. He picked out a good wine. And she says, he's an attractive man. So let's just see how the conversation goes between the two, because looks is only the beginning. My man John is out here using the advanced wordplay. Okay, we got all this charcuterie out here. And what charcuterie is, it's just cold cooked meat. But it's a good word to have in your vocabulary. Now, he's asking LaRonda, where does she see herself? She's like, I definitely want to have kids in the near future. And John's like, me too. They're like, hey, well, let's cheers to that. We on the same page. So the conversation is going good. And also he's like, man, I'm looking at these grapes and I'm thinking you were on one side and I'm over here and I'm trying to throw one. You know what I'm saying? You catch it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we can do. So they throwing the grapes around. He misses because as a man, don't catch that thing, especially not in public. If you're out the house, okay, do it, but not in public. But then he throws it to LaRonda. She catches it, and they having fun. They high five, and she over here dancing and stuff. And that's what I was saying about the relationship between LaRonda and Sean. They have that personality that connects. So she's a fun spirit, and she's having fun out here on this day. So you can't I can't be mad. Everyone's having fun except for Sean. He doing push-ups. He probably on 1,000. See, it's the small things. Now, the small things usually fade away a little bit when you're in a relationship for a while. So for John, him doing these small things like singing, "I'm gonna put a ring on it, a ring on it." So him doing this little stuff is good because it's fresh and new to her. Now, you had to bring that spark back in your own relationship, but John's doing what he's supposed to do on the first day. I underestimated my brother. I shouldn't have judged a book by its cover. He's doing a hell of a job on this date. I commend him for this. And Lorena, she's having fun. And that's what this experience is about. Maybe not finding somebody new, but having fun and just seeing what is out there to make you appreciate what you have back at home, or maybe want. I called it. Sean's over here going through it. They had him in there doing pull-ups. He in here on the couch, arms crossed like a little kid. He bent over and he just thinking, man, a dude came to my house and took my woman on a date. I told you that's the worst thing. That is the worst thing. Now, if the show would have had them, hey, y'all gonna meet up somewhere and have a date, okay. But a man coming to your house and telling you, hey, bro, I'm gonna take your girl on a date and I'm gonna have a great time with her and she is gonna enjoy this evening with your boy. It's gonna play something on your mental, especially the woman you've been living with, man. Sean FaceTimes his boy EJ. His boy is like, yeah, that jealousy kicking in. And Sean's like, bruh, this man came to my house talking about peace and blessings. I told y'all when he came in, he said that even Lorena laughed. But it's those small things that you can do to, you know what I'm saying, strategically put yourself in place to be a little further ahead. And his boy is just like, yeah, man, it's going to be rough, man. But pretty much just trust in Lorena. No, it ain't going to be nothing. It's just one date, man. Now, if she says go on another date with this man, then that's where it's going to be a problem, especially for women going on another date with a man. Sean's really going through it. They got him in the bathroom throwing up. I'm like, dang, man, don't record this part. Now, I've been hurt over a woman. She left me, but I wasn't throwing up. Maybe after like day 2, I was just like, oh, well, trying to get back out here. Life is life. But this is different when it's the woman you live with. Sean, you really hurting. And I can see why, because she was actually comforting him when they had to talk with Dr. Nicole about their finances and him looking at his father's relationship. So this is somebody he genuinely cares for. And I can see why he's going through all this, but yeah, it's tough. I like where this went between Alexia and Darian. Now, Alexia, she talks about the day with Chris. She's like, he's a handsome man. When we got there, he sat down, he let me talk, and he listened to me. Now, Darian was like, oh, yeah, he was a dork. You just got to get that out there. He was a dork. Now, I don't have nothing against Chris. He seemed like a good man to me. It's just, for Darian, it's, hey, this is my woman. You know what I'm saying? He's a dork. He ain't got no chance. But they actually say they sat down and they talked between midnight and 7 a.m. They actually sat there and they talked to each other to get an understanding of each other. So that's one thing that I see as a positive that came from both of these two going out on a date with each other. They seen what was out there and it made them look at what they had back at home. And they're like, we need to get through a few things that we haven't actually talked about. So for me looking at that, I'm like, hey, they did a good job. And now y'all know I'm Dr. Nicole's assistant. So I got a little bit of credit on, you know what I'm saying, giving my opinion. Jessica and Eric. Now, Jessica talks about her date. And she's saying, oh, he was attractive. The conversation was good. They were vibing. But the only thing is she doesn't feel that Eric trusts her when she's out on dates and vice versa. So Dr. Nicole asks, do you think that you can sustain this over a long time? If you guys aren't trusting each other when you're out and about without the other, how long do you think it's gonna last? And Jessica's like, well, it never hurts to try. And Eric is like, man, I don't think it's gonna last. Because honestly, if you have to think about, man, can I really trust her when she's out? That's going to be on your mind, and it's going to have you like Sean throwing up. Now, I'm not saying Sean doesn't trust Lorena. I'm just saying that's how your stomach going to be feeling when you got to think, can I trust my significant other when they're out? It's not too often that I'm wrong when I'm judging and looking at these things. Now, John, he is an artist. Now, Lorena's like, oh, it was a nice day. He was fun. He actually wrote me a song and was singing to me. Everybody's looking like, what? You even hear Eric say, man, I'm glad we didn't get that dude. Because a man singing to your woman, if he can sing, then, oh my goodness. And he done wrote a song. And then Sean's talking about, yeah, man, I was cool when he came over, but after they left, my stomach, I started getting sick because I started picturing the worst. And that's the thing that hurts people the most. When you start thinking of the worst outcome, it's going to be all bad for you. Because realistically, you may think of the worst outcome or you think of the best outcome, but normally it's just in the middle. 9 times out of 10, it's just going to be in the middle. So it's not as bad as you think. But he's just saying he couldn't picture himself without Lorena. So for him, his bond with her is very, very deep. And like I was explaining with the Sean situation, you're thinking the worst or you're thinking the best. But Dr. Nicole says you're missing the actual picture. It's not to make you think of the worst or give you the worst outcome of it. It's just letting you know, like, what you have back at home. If this is really worth it, then that's what you guys need to focus on. So you shouldn't really think about the worst outcome, because most of the time that's not going to happen. It's going to be right there in the middle. It's going to be not good, not bad, but it's just going to be normal. And that's what she's trying to say. Don't get all worked up over this, because we didn't set these dates up for Lorena to leave you. We just want y'all to see what's on the outside so you can work on what's on the inside. And that's why he's focusing so hard, because growing up, seeing his dad not be there, just dropping the money off and leaving and not being there for his mom, he doesn't want to be his dad. That's why he's so strung up on Lorena. He doesn't want her to leave, because he's doing everything he can to make sure that they stay together, because he doesn't want to end up like his dad. And, you know, he gets a little emotional about it. And as a man, you look at that and you can understand and you respect, hey, he really cares for Lorena. He's doing his best to make things happen. I hit the nail on the head again. Even out of his own mouth, Sean says he does have the little trust issues just because of seeing his father. But he thinks of things in the worst. He's thinking Lorena goes on this date. Lorena might not come home. Lorena goes off with another man. He thinks of the worst things, and that's what hurts you the most, because you're projecting something on your mind, and your mind really can't process that, because your mind is only going to go as far as your mind's going to go. But when you start putting ideas in his head that, like, when you're telling yourself this is going to happen, your body starts to react to that. And that's just bad. You don't ever want to project that onto yourself, that negativity, because the mind, the subconscious mind, when you tell it something, that's why they always tell yourself, I can do it. Because once you make your mind believe it, then you can do it. But once you make your mind believe that something bad is going to happen, your whole body's going to react to it. Thank you, Dr. Nicole. As I said earlier, you don't compare yourself to somebody else, especially as a kid looking at adult relationship. What your parents had going on is what they had going on. You can't compare your life to them, because you don't know the ins and outs of their relationship. Just like we don't know the ins and outs of your relationship. So you can't look at somebody else and compare your life, because everyone does things differently. And you don't know the full story behind what happened and the reason it was that way. So Dr. Nicole is saying, focus on yourself. The bigger picture is you and her, not what your father did. All right, now's the time we've been waiting on. We ain't sugarcoating it. Miss Lexi, are you going on another date with this gentleman, or you want somebody new? And she says, well, no, I'm not going to go on another date with him. Now, all the boxes were checked, but just on this first date, I didn't see what I wanted. So, you know, saying I'm going to go on another date. Okay. And look at Darian, too. He's like, thank you. All right, Miss Jessica, you want a second date or no? She's like, nah, I'll pass on him. I'm good. And the reason for that is because he's 32, never had a relationship before. So they asked Eric, how do you feel about that? And you see him. Oh, I'm ecstatic, Dr. Nicole. Thank you for asking. Lorena actually, she deeply cares for Sean. So she says she doesn't want to go on another date because she's seen how that made him feel. And Dr. Nicole is saying, well, that's not fair, because there's going to be more dates here. Are you doing this just because of Sean? What they're trying to say is you need to go on. If you wanted to go on a date with this man again and see where it went, then all right. But don't do it because of Sean. You guys are both here together to make this decision. That's why you're going on these dates, to see what's out there. So it really isn't fair on Sean to tell her, oh, no, you can't do that. But he's not doing that. She's just saying she doesn't want to do it because of Sean. Now that we got all that out the way, real quick, you six, next week, we're going to be going on dates. But it's not going to be individual dates. It's going to be you on a date, 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 you on a date. And we're going to all be in the same location. So we're going to see how that turns out next week. There you go, episode 2 of Ready to Love. Now, I don't know how those dates are going to turn out next week, but let me know what you think about these dates. Do you think the women were feeling these men and they made the right decision to not go on a second date with them? And how y'all feel about my boy Sean? I know he was hurt, but let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. I'm Ronda Jay. If you like the content on the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Be here next week for episode 3. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.